If you ever felt like you were losing your mind after losing your spouse, you're not alone. Some days you felt wired. Some days you had no energy. Some days you'd cry, and other times you would be numb. That's not you losing it, that's grief. What people don't know is that grief is more than just the emotional side. There are neurological reasons for you to feel all of those things. I myself went through all of that. There are bits of time I don't even remember. If it wasn't for my kids, I don't know how I would have gotten through it. But I have gaps in my memory, for sure. There were days I was high energy and other days I couldn't do a thing. And that's okay. Again, that is your grief. What many widows and widowers tell me in my lives is that they don't understand what's happening to them. It's confusing. First, they've lost their identity. They don't know who they are without their person. Second, they're having significant fog in their brain fog, grief brain. It's called a lot of different things. But basically, there's a lot of chaos going on in your head, which causes a fogginess to happen. It's impossible to concentrate on all the things that are happening in your brain. The other thing is the sleep deprivation. That helps cause that grief brain that we're talking about. We have memory problems. We're overthinking. We're more irritable. And we're apologizing for our grief. And we find ourselves performing for others. We pretend to be okay when we're not. And when we tell people we're not, and they apologize because they maybe pushed us or triggered us in some way, then we start consoling them instead of taking care of ourselves. Here's the science behind what's happening. When we lose our person, our nervous system becomes dysregulated. It thinks we're in danger because our safety feels affected. It gives off the cortisol hormone, which is the stress hormone. So our body thinks we're in danger in some way. And so we're doing everything we can to try to protect it, or at least your nervous system thinks that. So we go into what's called fight, flight, or freeze. The fight portion is the irritability side. You want to argue with everybody. Little things irritate you more than they ever did. We don't have time for small talk and chit chat. We just don't have that capacity. Flight, we're trying to run away. We are running away from people. We won't go out to the store. And we just become hermits. It's easier to just stay inside and stay away. In freeze, numb. You become so numb, you don't know what day it is, and you have zero desire to do anything at all. All of these are normal, and all of these are coming from your nervous system. As you move on through your grief, these symptoms, they will lessen over time. But in the beginning, this is what's controlling you. This is why you don't have motivation. This is why you can't concentrate on one task at a time. This is why you feel like you have zero capacity to do anything. When we lose our person, our identity shifts. And the reason for that is that person is woven into the fabric of who you are. A lot of times, we learn to adult together. We found out things that we liked together. There were things, perhaps, before we met, individually. But when you come together in a relationship and build that together, it can't be separated. So when that person leaves us, those pieces are gone. So part of what we're having trouble with on a daily basis is, who are we? When I look in the mirror, who's looking back at me? And that shifts overnight when our person leaves us. They're woven into the fabric of who we are. So finding that again takes time. And that is not something that we want to hear, but it is something. And it is the biggest part of grief. The emotional side, sure, is hard. But being left to figure out who you are again, all your routines change. The things you used to do together, now you do individually or not at all. Maybe there were tasks in the house that were divided. Now you take on all of the roles. So you're reminded on a daily basis that your person is gone. There are things that you used to enjoy that you no longer enjoy alone. There are social activities, perhaps, that you did with other couples that now you feel uncomfortable doing. You can be in a very crowded room and feel really alone just because of the title widow or widower that's on you. So how can we take control back? We need to name it. When these things happen to us and we don't know who we are, we need to just identify it as our nervous system is shifting. That's my nervous system. I'll figure it out. I'll take control of it. Once we do that, the whole game changes. When I started to think about who I was as a person before I met my husband, and then thought about who I want to be through this reset, and that's what I call it, is a grief reset. Who do I want to be? What do I want to look like? Am I a nice person? Am I a tolerant person? Am I independent? Who am I? Once I started putting those pieces of the puzzle together, when I became curious, I didn't do it right away. It took me a little while. Once I started to become curious and wanted to figure out who I was without him, it opened doors for me. I was able to sleep, for one thing, a little bit better. Once I named my grief and once I named my nervous system, I could take control of it. When those waves would hit, I would learn how to control them because I was becoming a different person. Do I still love and care for my husband? Absolutely. It's different now. I carry him within me. That pain does not control who I am anymore. I took control of it. Here's a few tips to help your nervous system regulation. Breathing exercises. Breathing exercises cause circulation in the body. That circulation sends signals to your nervous system that you're okay. The breathing exercise I like to do is called the 4-2-6 method. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 2, and you breathe out for 6 seconds. If you do this multiple times a day, don't wait until you're stressed, but do multiple times a day. When you first wake up, maybe you're in the shower, before you go to bed, practice it, and you'll notice a difference. The other thing I like to do, grounding exercises. A lot of times, this is you notice objects in the room. You listen for noises. You smell. You taste. You stop for a minute and you notice these things of all your senses. While you're doing that, intentional breathing. Not necessarily breathing exercises, but concentrate on your breathing. And this quiets all that noise. The other thing I like to do is visualization exercises. Picture yourself someplace magical, your most favorite place in the world, whether it's with your person or without your person, a happy place. And think of it like a third-person movie. You're watching yourself. But while you're doing that, you're noticing all your senses. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste? What are you doing there? What makes it so magical and happy? That, with practice, can ease panic attacks, anxiety, and just your everyday nervous system dysregulation. If I can do it, you can do it. Practice these daily, multiple times a day. By doing that, it will send signals to your nervous system that you're safe and that it's okay to let you be okay. The other important factors with reducing your nervous system overwhelm is setting boundaries. Self-care in grief has a lot to do with what you take away, not what you do. Planning a bubble bath, getting your nails done, going out with friends, all of that is great. But that is not going to help regulate your nervous system. It's not going to help reduce your overwhelm. What does? Setting boundaries. Don't have overwhelming conversations. If there is somebody that you talk to on a regular basis that causes you to be triggered or have a grief wave after, then limit those conversations. It's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. And you can just tell them you're protecting your peace right now, where you're not emotionally in a place that you can have this conversation. Apologize and say that you just need space right now. And they should be okay with that. If they take offense, that's on them. That's not on you. You're doing what you can in your moment of grief. And you have to do what you need to do to protect your nervous system and yourself in order to heal. Grief is heavy and does last forever, but not in the heaviest form. It lightens over time, and we learn how to carry it better. We grow around it. You're not broken. You're grieving the love of your life. If this helped explain anything that's going on in your body and your mind, please subscribe. We're going to keep walking through this together.